Hello viewer, and welcome to this special announcement. This is sort of a, it's not really a question and answer session this time around. What I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about where my channel's been, where my company has been, where I've been, and where we're going. Because this is the last time you're going to see this particular point of view. This week, I am finally going to be getting the keys to our new studio. Yes, it's been a long time coming. There's been a lot of shenanigans in getting all the paperwork done, but finally at that point. Very excited about it, and you should be excited about it because we're going to have a completely different set for the RPG Fanatic. The live action stuff is going to return. It's going to be really special. It's going to be really something. I'm really looking forward to revealing it to you guys and doing the next review, which is definitely going to use the live action stuff. No longer just going to be doing this narration over tons and tons of game footage. It's going to be Return of the Student Sword and hopefully eventually some new characters as well. It's going to be a lot better, and I'm very excited about it. Other things I want to talk about. There's been a lot of commenting and discussion about my channel in the past 5 months by some people who are relatively negative about me personally, not necessarily my work, but me as an individual. And I've responded to it in the past, but this is going to be, I think, the final response that I give. There are some people who are not impressed with my education, and they're not impressed with my experiences, and they're not impressed with, everything. And they think that their opinion should matter about me because I went to a very nice place, a very nice college, and I paid all this money, to be in this special club, to study books, and blah 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 blah. Honestly. You cannot buy your way in the United States Army. There was so much stuff that I did in the military which isn't even documented completely in my military records because there's no reports made about it. Why? Because not everything needs to be reported. There are things I've done that I probably could have got medals for, but I didn't make a report because at the time I didn't feel, like I wanted a medal for it. Now that I look back in hindsight, it would have been very helpful if I had actually had documentation of this stuff. But you know what? It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter everything that I did. But I can say this. The things that I am most proud of in my military career are not the training that I went through. It's not the hours I put in. It's not risking my life for the things I believed in. And it's not serving my country and all that stuff. It's those moments where my actions saved other people's lives. Those are the things I'm most proud about. And, like what? Your college, studying books, that's supposed to impress me, honestly. I'm sorry. I am not impressed. Papers really don't impress me. What impressed me is what someone has done and what they can do. What they're going to do. I am very much interested in the potential that people have. And when I choose people to work with me, I look at their potential. And I'm very much into the whole Web 2.0 philosophy. When people comment to me, I don't just, delete and ignore your opinions. I actually look at pretty much everything you've ever done, so I get a real good sense of you as a person. And to be honest, I'm not that impressed with some of you individuals. Some of you, yeah, you got potential, but you're misusing it. What you need to think about is this. This is now the digital age. It's the information age, where pretty much any kind of information you really want to find, you can find if you dig hard enough. You're going to find it. It's not like it used to be. Now, there are documentaries about all kinds of stuff that was done, centuries ago, based on those records. We remember people who, have been dead for centuries and what they've done. And now we're at the point where everybody is going to eventually have their own little article on Wikipedia or whatever. How do you want to be remembered for the decades and centuries to come. Especially those of you out there running your own little YouTube partner shows. Oh yeah, you're going to be remembered. Everything you do is probably going to get archived in the Library of Congress, simply because we're the first round of YouTube partners. So I ask you, how do you wish to be remembered by future generations? Do you wish to be remembered as screaming fag at the top of your lungs, perhaps? Do you wish to be remembered as calling people child molesters and saying they went to jail who did not molest children nor went to jail? Do you wish to be known as someone who specialized in harassing people over the internet? Is that how you wish to be remembered? Everything you post, everything you say, it's going to be remembered by somebody. It's going to be put in one of these little articles. No, not your little Encyclopedia Dramatic articles. They'll be put in actual articles. Ones that will actually endure through the centuries. Especially if you become notable in any significant way. There's an encyclopedia here I have. You know, this one's like the Encyclopedia of Witches and Witchcraft. I'm agnostic, don't really believe in this stuff, but I have this as a writing aid. And there are so many people, you know, anybody who was basically had any influence whatsoever in any of this New Ageism, this neo-paganism, they're in there. And all the little stuff that they did, all the little things that they ever did, good or bad, it's in there. It's going to be something like that about you. I think about that stuff when I make my videos, and sometimes I make mistakes. Some of my videos aren't so great, and I pulled a lot of those videos that I, didn't feel so great about. Now other ones are staying up, like Cosplayers the movie, for example. There's been some discussion that it's not, the most technically great movie ever, and people are not impressed with the technical skills. Of course. Not that impressed either. So in the first films I ever did, we had so many equipment malfunctions. But this is why I am proud of it. I am proud of it because I finished it and I completed it. And it's a good film for the information. It's a film that I get feedback from all the time on where it's posted. People love it because they like the message that it sends, that it talks about. There's so many people in the anime convention community, the cosplayers, and people who aren't cosplayers, who are misunderstood by society in general, and what they're about, and why they, have this community going. And my documentary lets them, in their own words, explain what it's about and why it's so special to them. And there's people who get that. That's the kind of films that I want to make. That's what I want to do. Even when I'm doing my game reviews, I'm trying to spread a positive information. Even if I'm like, I'm making fun of The Legend of Alendar or Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter, and I'm being brutal to the games, and people, I really love that game, why are you saying all these horrible things about it? I'm not attacking the designers so much as I'm attacking the design of the game itself, as if the design of the game is its own entity. I do question some of the choices the designers made, especially if the design team is capable of doing so much more, like The Legend of Alendar, definitely capable of so much more with that game, and I was extremely disappointed with what they ended up releasing. But the point is that even when I harshly criticize a game, I usually point to that the design team could have done better because they've done previous things, like, that particular company who did Legend of Alendar, they made some of the gold box D&D games, which are historically important in the field of the computer RPGs. They really are. And I was disappointed with what they ended up doing with that particular title. Same thing with Dragon Age. Not Dragon Age. Breath of Fire Dragon Quarters. And Unlimited Saga. There's so much more they could do. I think I am getting better at voicing, in particular, what is... how I really feel about the titles and expressing these ideas and getting people, most importantly, to talk about this stuff. But of course, along the way, there's people out there who have to be childish and stupid and say things that are probably going to catch up to them in the future at some point. Now, it's been a number of years since I left the military and started on this quest to build this entertainment company and make videos like Cosplayers and the RPG Fanatic and the Investigative Anime Show, where I try to get actually into the ideas, not the ideas, but the mindset of the people who work on animations or other related fields like independent mangas or work in Hollywood. you know. I try to get this information so I can spread it. And it's the videos, even the RPG Fanatic stuff, it's not really about me. It's not really about me. I'm a character, in a way, who's bringing the information and sending the information. But they're not really about me. It's about what people pick up from the communication and the ideas that I'm trying to share and trying to put out there so people can talk about it and think about it and, you know, get that discourse going. I'm very much interested in this sharing of ideas and how people take these ideas. And I am extremely disappointed, very disappointed, when people see this stuff and they say, oh, well, your camera sucks, or, you know, this wasn't lit properly. These things I can improve, sure, but what about the information? Did you like the information at least? You know? At least a lot of the times I don't get many complaints about the information on most of the stuff, except when people completely disagree because they don't understand really where I'm coming from, like the Star Wars recent one I did. But that's a different topic on its own. In the next 3 years, I think this is going to be really a major turning point. And the next one I think is going to come in the next 3 years. The big turning point with the direction of my work. That's where I see things, because there's a lot of projects that I have, you know, I'm developing, but it's going to take a number of years until I'm really ready to do them. It's going to be some more documentaries I really want to do. And a lot of this stuff just cannot be done until I get GKaiser finished, because GKaiser is going to be an important brand for the company to not just bring revenue in, but get the rest of this stuff seen more. People who watch GKaiser are going to end up hearing about the RPG Fanatic show. They're going to end up hearing about Investigating Anime. They're going to end up hearing about the various documentaries that I'm doing. This stuff all has a trickling effect. And I think I'm not really competing with anybody else either with what I want to do with my company. There's a lot of people who are doing this stuff, but nobody's really doing it all the way that I'm doing it. I have my own style that I'm trying to achieve. So I don't really feel like I'm in competition with any other game reviewers out there, or people doing interviews, or making documentaries, or anything of that nature. People who are making, you know, their own little independent Kamen Rider style shows. I don't feel like I'm a competitor to anybody. I think the market has plenty of room for everybody out there. I would love to network and, you know, even partner with people who are doing stuff like that. I don't feel, you know, like there's a competition. And I get the impression that when people look at my work, they feel like they need to compete with me. And it's just so silly, you know? It's not like I'm asking people to buy my DVD and not buy their competitor DVD. You know, I'm putting all this stuff out there for people to watch freely, and expecting that the revenue is going to come primarily from the ads, and in the future, licensing merchandise. But probably about 3 years away from that. Here's another thing. All the experiences that I've gone through in my life, and there have been many, very important ones. All these experiences have taught me that if I don't believe in myself absolutely 100%, betting everything I got on myself and the people I care about and believe in, then nobody else will either. And that is what I do with my show. That is what I do with my channel. That is what I do every day. I've been told, when people look at my game design documents who work in the industry, and they look at this stuff, they are impressed with the level of detail that I go into, because they don't normally see that. I'm pretty sure that even though I haven't had any really noticeable jobs in the industry with game design, I have actually worked in game design before. I have lots of documents to show, lots of systems I've designed. Some of them are pretty much finished, although the game that they're part of, I still think I need to spend at least another year playtest work to really refine. But that's not the point. The point is this. There's a lot of different stuff that I could be doing. I could be out there just trying to get a job and work for the people like many people do. And that's fine. But that's not what I want to do with my work. So I am betting everything on myself and that I can build this company, build this great thing that is going to be different than what other people have with their companies. You know, it's like there's the people that if they don't like the way that somebody's running their company, they try to take over that company. And, you know, I'm not really interested that much in doing that. When I was younger, I had that kind of idea, I think, but I've learned the hard way that it's better to just make your own thing. And that is what I am trying to achieve. I have a different way of looking at things that doesn't coincide with a lot of the various philosophies that people have, like, again, with the subject of education. I don't care what degree you have from wherever. The only thing I care about is what you've done and what you can do. And I care about what's in here too. So when I hire people, I am generally uninterested in their education. Absolutely positively. I will hire people straight out of high school if I think they got what it takes to work on my projects. So that's one particular area that my company will be different. Other ways are the type of shows that I do, the type of projects I want to do, the type of charities I hope to one day be able to start. Because I could give $1 out of my pocket now, or I could put that dollar into developing my own work so that later, when I have this very successful company, I can put a hell of a lot more than $1 out of my pocket and build something that is actually meaningful, and set up my own charities and have those ran the way I think that they should be ran. Because there's a lot of charities out there I don't think are ran the right way, and I don't want to support. So, but this is very forward-thinking stuff, and a lot of people are going to think that I'm very arrogant for saying what I've said and having this faith in myself. At this particular time, maybe I am arrogant. Maybe I'm not going to be able to achieve anything that I want to do, but maybe I will. The only person who can decide whether I succeed or fail is myself. That's the only person who can really do it, because every time things don't go my way, I have the choice to give up or keep moving forward and lead by example. And every time I'm going to choose to keep going forward and keep trying harder and go around those obstacles and beat it. So even though I might fall, I get right back up and I keep going forward until I get to the finishing line. Doesn't happen every single time, I can promise you that, because I'm a fighter, not just an occupation, not just from having been infantry. That's what I am. I am all fighter. So, I hope that you will enjoy watching what is to come with the channel, and the various other places my videos are shown, such as Crunchyroll, and on GotGame and OriginalGamer.com, and now MyPod Studios. And I hope that even if you don't like what I'm doing, you'll at least be entertained by what I'm doing, and a witness to what's to come. Thank you.